Hey everybody, it's Norm and Will back for another episode of Behind the Garage Door. Today we're headed over to Land O'Lakes to meet up with a guy named Lee who's got a super sweet street ride. All right, so we made it out to Lee's place here in Land O'Lakes. Lee, what a beautiful piece of property you have here.
Thank you.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I've just recently met Lee today. A good friend of mine lives across the street and introduced us, and I am super excited because I've heard a lot what is behind this garage door, but I'm really excited to see what is actually in this garage. All right, so Lee, I'd like to save the hot rod to talk to you last about.
Okay.
But let's start now with your C5 vet? C6 vet?
C6.
C6 vet. All right, let's talk about the C6 vet.
My dirty C6.
That means it gets
Gets
driven.
used, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, my brother bought this car brand new.
Okay.
He had it about a year and a half, 2 years maybe, and he decided he didn't want it anymore. So he wanted to know if I wanted to buy it. I said, well, it's only got, I think it only had like 9,000 miles on it when I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I bought that, and right now got a little over 36,000 miles on it.
So you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven it to Indiana. I go to this car show every year in September. It's like a James Dean festival.
Got it.
And I've driven it up there several times and driven it all over the state, and drive to church most of the time on Sunday.
There you go. Churchmobile. Very cool. Okay, now, up above that, let's talk about this one.
All right, that's a 64. That was kind of a beater car for a while.
Really?
Yeah. I got it pretty cheap.
How long have you had it?
I've had that car probably 18, 19 years, maybe 20. I'd have to go back and check.
Right.
But I asked the guy, but I really didn't care. I said, does it numbers match? He said, well, I don't know. And so anyway, I started looking at it, and I could see the numbers, and they matched what was on the main plate underneath the dash, I mean underneath the glove box.
Yeah.
But the numbers didn't look right. So I didn't care, the car ran good and all that. Well, I ended up putting a 471 blower motor in it.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I sold the motor to a friend of mine, and he checked it, and it was actually a 62 block.
Okay.
I said, well, I don't think they had them that many left over for 64.
No, I don't think so.
So I ran the blower motor for a while, and of course I had to buy another hood from this buddy of mine who sold it to me cheap.
Right.
And I just can't see myself cutting up a nice hood.
No.
I said, well, I got to fit this blower somehow. So I cut it, and so I ran that blower motor for a while, and I just decided I'd pull it out one day, and the guy wanted to buy the motor, so I sold the motor, and it's had another motor in it, and the car is right now, when I walk around it starts shaking the bolts out of it because it knows I'm going to pull the motor out of it.
Not again. What engine's in it now?
It has a 327 in it now. It's like a 68 block.
Okay.
It's been bored 30 over, got 10.5 pop-ups in it, fuelie heads, and got a pretty wicked cam. A little too much for the street. I just kind of over-cammed it for the situation. But
well, you know,
sounds good anyway.
Now, I said that you didn't have to get it down, but now that you told me everything about it, I might at least want to hear it.
if it'll start. I mean, I've had some trouble with it.
Was it originally a Fuelie car, or do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I like Corvette. I like the guys that restore them 100% and all that. I think they ought to be well commended, but I'm not that kind of guy.
I'm with you.
They built those cars back in the day to race them and have fun and drive them, and
Yeah.
that's what I do. And everybody, they said, well, I wouldn't be driving it every day. I said, if I can't drive it, I don't need it.
There's no need for it
So
then.
That's the way I look at things.
Yeah. Is it dark blue?
It's a 2013 Corvette Night Race Blue.
Okay. All right, Lee. So we move into the vehicle that I was really interested in talking to you about. Now, when we talked on the phone, you said you had a Woody, a 34.
A 33.
33.
But a lot of people say, that's a 34. It's got a 34 grill and a 34
What's the
side grill.
difference between a 33 and 34 grill?
The louvers.
In the hood.
And, well, not really the louvers right here.
Yeah.
And the grill on the 33 is a little more pointed than the 34.
Is that the difference?
To me, that's the only difference.
Okay. Because I never knew what the difference was. I know they're very similar, but I
Yeah.
never knew what the difference was.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this car? That's what I want to start with first.
This one, about 13 years.
Okay, so you've had it for a while. Did you buy it like this, or
No, this is actually one of the Hercules cars.
tell me what that is?
All right, Cecil Taylor has Hercules motors,
Okay.
and he builds these kits.
So it's not a steel car?
It's steel,
It is steel.
steel and wood.
Okay, so it's not a fiberglass car. Is it a Brookville kind of
No,
deal?
This is Cecil Taylor.
So he does these.
he built these.
Whoa!
Yeah, so he builds them as a kit. I got to know him several years ago because we had a sawmill up there in 52.
Uh-huh.
And he had bought some property and was thinking about cutting some trees, and so we were talking back and forth. And I actually ordered some shocks from him one time for another car. Well, we got to be good friends, and he kept bugging me. He said, you need to build a Woody. I don't know. He said, I'll help you. I don't know. I stalled around. So finally I said, okay, let's do this.
Yes. Okay, first thing I wanted to ask is, what is that color? That is amazing.
Okay, the base color is 93 garnet red Cadillac.
Okay.
They have like a light and a medium and a dark garnet. This
Okay.
is a medium garnet.
Okay.
And then it has 2 coats of House of Color candy red on top
I
of
knew
it.
it had to be there has to be candy in that. That
Yeah.
pops. My God, that color is gorgeous.
Yeah, so,
So nice.
and
So he did the wood.
well, he builds all the wood, he makes all the wood.
This is a hand-built car.
Yeah. Wow. He used to build all the fenders,
Okay.
but it got where he could just buy them and save him a lot of time and
Yeah.
labor.
Yeah.
So he started buying the fenders, but I know he was going to sell his business a while back, and I was there when this guy was looking at it, and it just overwhelmed the guy of all the patterns
Oh, man, I
that
can
goes into one of these things.
I can't imagine.
And so I asked Cecil, I said, did you sell it? He said, no, I just overwhelmed him.
I would imagine it does. So what engine we have?
We have a 350 Ramjet fuel injection
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
with a 700 R4.
So you could drive this thing everywhere.
This car has been to Indiana twice.
Has it really? Good for you, Lee. So is that I did it steering column and
Yep, I did it. It's got a Curry Ford 9-inch. Then got all the it's a TCI frame with their suspension and stuff. I finished all the wood, stained it, cleared it. Did basically when you got started, I got the frame. I took the frame down, had it powder coated.
Yep.
Well, when I got it back, I took the frame to Cecil. And what they did, they just kind of mocked up the car for me. It was kind of all there, but then I had to bring it home, take it all apart, and then get the body work done on it, get it painted, do the wood, get the wiring done and all that stuff.
So you built the car here?
Yeah, did it right in there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
It
it.
was a pain.
Well, if they're easy, everybody would
Yeah.
have one. Now, is it supposed to have a cow vent? that comes up? Or did those have Calvins?
They
like the
may
44s
have,
do?
but the way this front end was made, they didn't put the Calvin in
I
it.
got you. It's
Of
probably
course, it's got
paint.
AC in it, and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
What a beautiful Woody, Lee.
Well, thank you.
I love it. Lee, thank you so much for inviting us out to your house, sharing your cool cars with us. We really, really appreciate it. The 64 Vet, the C6 Vet, the 33 Woody.
Yeah.
And also, Lee has some other cars that are actually in process of having some stuff done to them.
Yep.
So we're going to come back when those cars are done. One of them he's had for 43 years. So stay tuned for that. We're going to head back to the dealership and wrap it up. All right. I still cannot get over the fact that that 33 Woody is hand-built and looks so incredibly accurate. Typically, you know, I won't call names or anything, but when you see one of those 33, 34 Ford Street Rod kit cars, they don't look right. The grill is never right, in my opinion. They never sit right. But man, Lee's Woody is, that 33 Woody is just, dialed in, set in the paint. Oh my God. And the 350 Ramjet, I love that. We are going to go back to Lee's house to see his 61 Corvette when it's done. So make sure you stick around and check back for a future episode with Lee and the Corvette. And hopefully get that blue car down off the rack as well, so we can hear that camshaft. Make sure you check in and keep checking back, because it's not going to be every Thursday now, but for another episode of Behind the Garage Door.
Stingray Chevrolet, relax, enjoy the difference.